time. Live Scream time. Sorry, I was just reading even more scary stories for sleepovers. I'll be featuring this book in a recent upcoming video showing more spooky hauls that I've acquired. That's right. Every time I go out, I'm finding more and more spooky merchandise at antique stores now. Can't believe it. I'm not complaining though. Anyway, welcome into the live stream, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good Friday and ready for the weekend. I know I definitely am ready for the weekend for sure. Draven, Will, welcome in. Kelly, welcome in. Sam, welcome in. Breeze, welcome in. Sherry, welcome in. Hope everyone's doing all right tonight. So, I guess you all saw the video. Much like last night, I wasn't expecting to drop a video tonight, but got to give a shout out to one of my viewers, Meows and Mayhem, because Meows and Mayhem was the one that gave me the tip for the Michaels collections that we should be looking forward to this spooky season. So I think I'm looking forward to the vintage spirits because I think that's going to be in the line of traditional ghosts and stuff like that. However, remains to be seen. We don't have any images yet, so we're going to have to wait and see when it all starts getting leaks online, and then we'll know exactly what it is. Sam says, chat's acting up for me here. I don't know. Maybe go out and come back in, Sam. Sometimes that helps out a little bit. James, a spirit fan. Doing all right tonight, James. I hope you are as well. Sherry, Draven, Breeze. Let's see. No, Chip. I'm pretty much taken. I've been with the same person for 20 years. My wife is asking. That's a little odd. That gave me a chuckle though. I needed a laugh tonight, so thanks for that. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the videos this week. As we start off every live scream, we do a recap of the week before and a look at the week coming up. So, yeah, no Sanity. That was kind of wild. Barb, welcome into the chat. I know I needed a laugh tonight, and that got me going. That was fantastic. Kudos to Chip for that because that was good. Anyway, a look at the past week. Of course, I guess you all saw the summer blockbuster movie, right? Did everybody see the blockbuster movie? Hey, Kirsten, just wanted to say hi. I can't stay. Running errands. Looking forward to more videos. See you all soon. Handle your business, Kirsten. Don't spend too much money because running errands means you're having to spend money. I know how that goes. I did some of that myself today. But anyway, did you all see the blockbuster movie this week? Spooky Horror Goddess, welcome in. Athena. Will says, hi, Kirsten. Bye, Kirsten. I guess you all know the blockbuster movie I'm talking about. It's blowing up. It's huge. It's a big movie. It's going to make millions of pennies, which we need because we can't find them anymore. Anybody know the movie I'm talking about? Anybody have any idea the summer blockbuster I'm talking about? It dropped this week. It's available on TV screens everywhere via YouTube. James says, Mr. Dark from 2021 is coming back to Spirit Halloween this year, Derek. I think I saw a YouTube short about that. Casket Crew. I made it in time. It's been quite the week, and I need to catch up on all of Derek's videos. I agree with that, Casket. It's been a heck of a week this week, and today was no exception for me. So James says, what's the summer blockbuster? Summer blockbuster was this movie right here. Summerween. The night I carved a watermelon. The movie's so nice, I had to record it on the VHS and make it as a collector's item to add to my own collection. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at that. It's got the side and everything. I put it in a clamshell case. How cool is this? Look at that. Play off of the Halloween movie. So, there you go, guys. If you want to try carving a watermelon, do it outside. Don't be like me. Don't try it inside. What you didn't see on camera was I had 2 buckets underneath me here to catch all of the juice. It was shooting everywhere. Like, it was just a mess. It was a complete mess trying to carve that watermelon. The juice was going everywhere. You saw I had to turn up the watermelon and drink it. It was just a mess. But that was last week, carving the jack-o'-melon. Yeah, exactly, Will. Brains. Next week, I'm going to try something a little different. Haven't done this yet. Carved a watermelon. I've carved a pumpkin. Next week, I'm going to try to carve a pineapple into the face of a jack-o'-lantern. So that's a video that's coming next week, is me doing a Summerween carving of a pineapple. I don't know how this is going to go. Also in that video, you may see Farmer Derek, because I still have to plant my pumpkin seeds before the month of May expires, because I keep getting told by everybody I've got to plant my pumpkin seeds in May if I want to grow my own pumpkin patch in time for Halloween. So I've got to do that. Thanks for the gift there. I don't see who sent it. Who sent the gift? I just missed it. Oh man, I got to see who sent the gift. Terry, thank you for sending the high five. Definitely appreciated, Terry. Thank you for sending the high five. I had to scroll back up to see who sent that. Thank you so much. The chat starts going and I miss stuff, so I apologize, guys. So next week, that video is coming. I'm going to plant the pumpkin seeds and carve the pineapple. I also, as you saw at the start of the video, I'm constantly finding cool new stuff. And I didn't even know this one existed. Maybe I did. I forgot all about it. Even more scary stories for sleepovers. I'm assuming it's in the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark franchise. I don't know if it is or if it isn't, but I do have the first 3 books, but I had no idea that there was a 4th book. So that was a pickup, and there's tons more pickups coming. You're not going to want to miss this video, because I have found some weird, one-of-a-kind items online and in thrift stores. That video is going to be airing. And then I also have Ben Cooper Part 2 that I've still got to air. I've still got to do so many more videos that I've got to get off of my phone. That's why last night I dropped the Halloween stores that are no longer with us, because so many of us up here always talk about Kmart and how much it means to us during Halloween season when we were younger, going with our parents. So naturally, I had to go ahead and push that video out to clear it off of my phone, because yesterday we had a bunch of phone trouble drama here at my house. The company that we're with, US Cellular, was bought out by T-Mobile, so everybody had to go get new SIM cards, and then there was SIM card drama, and phones were going into just SOS mode, and you couldn't get Wi-Fi. It was just, everything seems to be back up and functioning right now. I honestly didn't know if this live was going to happen tonight because of all the phone drama, but thankfully everything has sorted out and it's back to business as normal. So that's a look at some of the videos from this week, and that's a look at some of the videos that's coming next week. Now, on to what we're talking about tonight. I didn't advertise for a LiveSCREAM giveaway, so as far as I know, there's no giveaway tonight. I know everybody's going to turn off the live now, and they're going to run out. They're going to be like, ah, he's not giving anything away. Let's turn him off, so blah. But I do think in the next 2 weeks, there's going to be another giveaway, because we're this close to 5,000 subscribers. We're about 350 away, and I think it's going to happen in the coming weeks. I think by the beginning of June, there's going to be another giveaway, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be mentioned in the community post when it happens. Oh, see, Sherry said no. See, Sherry's going to already tune out. Oh man, yeah, see, look, the numbers, they speak. Look, there was 40 people in here, and as soon as I said there wasn't a giveaway, it dropped down to like 34. Wow, see, oh man, they only love me when I give away the Feistel cutouts. Oh man, I'm gonna have to cry myself to sleep tonight now. Star, welcome into the live stream. Hope you're doing well tonight. Crystal says, I'm with US Cellular and hold it off until the last minute. Be careful with that, Crystal, because what I understand, once US Cellular completely switches over, if you don't get a T-Mobile SIM card, it's pretty much going to be no service from what they're saying. Oh, I know you are, Sherry. I'm just messing around right now. But yeah, I mean, that's a look at what's coming up next week. Thank you. Oh, yeah, definitely, Star. Thank you. Hold on, I missed a chat here. Casket says, that's unfortunate, but then again, they weren't real fans of our community. Oh, it's all good. I mean, some people, they want to tune in to see the giveaway. Some people come for the chat. Whatever floats your boat. Everybody watches the videos. That's cool. That's at the end of the day, everybody supports the channel in their own way. Let's see. Let's get in here. There's no crying in Halloween. The only time there's crying in Halloween, Kelly, is when Halloween's over. Because when Halloween is over, it's definitely sad. Because then it's time for Christmas, and you gotta wait an entire, what, 6, 7 months until it starts hitting stores again. And honestly, it seems like forever since we've seen anything in stores. I'm trying to think, what, I saw Halloween clearance in stores still in December, and now we're getting close to June. So yeah, it's time to scratch the Halloween itch, because it's definitely been 6 months since I've seen anything in store, and I'm way ready for it. Definitely. So, are you guys excited about this little Michael's sneak peek? The vintage spirits, the mischief and magic, the bound by magic. What do you guys think it's going to be? You heard my thoughts if you watched the video. I'm thinking vintage spirits is definitely like ghosts and paranormal stuff like that. Mischief and magic, I'm thinking, is kind of witchy stuff. Definitely hoping for like trick or treater type stuff. Bound by magic, that's where it gets confusing to me. They've got two magic categories here, or lines here. I'm assuming they're going to kind of tie into one another. It would make sense if they do something like that. And then, of course, they've got the Lemax Spooky Town collection. And then they'll do their little mini animatronic collection that they always drop towards the later part of the Halloween season. They always drop that like mid to late August. So we're probably going to get like 5 drops. Spooky Town obviously is going to be the first one, because I had someone else that's a viewer. They sent me a photo over on Instagram. They work at Michael's, and the shipper boxes were there. It said Lemax Spooky Town on the boxes, but unfortunately he couldn't open them because he would get in trouble if he did that. So definitely don't need him doing that, but means it's here. It's probably sitting in the back room at your Michael's right now. Isn't that a bummer? And we can't even see it yet. Just sitting there in boxes, waiting until the street date. But it's all good. So it's getting closer, guys. We're getting drops, at least. We're definitely getting drops. All right, so what's going on in the chat tonight? I'm missing a lot here. Let's see. Aimski, hi everyone. I love your background. It's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining into the chat tonight. Breeze, shout out to you for being the moderator tonight. Barb says it's hot here, 90 degrees. It's going to get hot here next week, but it's been cool. I was working outside all day today from sunup to sundown, and it was pretty pleasant outside. It felt like fall Halloween weather. It was like 70 degrees here today. Pretty good weather. I can't complain. Let's see. Exactly. South of Sanity says, then it's time to prepare for the next Halloween. Yeah, Crystal, if you definitely sleep on that SIM card, you're not going to have any service unless you connect to some kind of Wi-Fi. Let's see. Right Meow says, Halloween is every day in my home. I have coffin shelves. I've got a coffin shelf around here somewhere. I've got so much clutter hiding it, I can't find it right now, but I'm definitely looking around for it. But I don't see it anywhere. It's hidden behind something. It's probably in the other room. Barb says, I have Halloween affective disorder and depression after Halloween. I feel you on that, Barb. It's like Halloween, I've said this a million times, Halloween is my Christmas when it's gone. I definitely have a sense of sadness because it's like, okay, what do I do now? But we find ways to stay spooky all year long. Let's see. Ouch, my wallet this year, says Katang. Well, Katang, I mean, you don't know if the pieces are going to be great or not, so could be just a handful of pieces that are going to be good. Some could be good, some could be bad, so we don't really know yet. Thankfully for me, I haven't seen anything this year that's making me really want to get my wallet out and say, oh yeah, I got to buy this. I'm more invested in finding weird items on Whatnot or eBay or thrift stores until somebody actually wows me and says, hey, look what we have in store. And then, yeah, maybe. All right, what's going on now? Let's see. Kelly says, I'm a witch at heart and love ghost hunting. So, yes, I'm excited. Oh, those lines will definitely be right up your alley there, Kelly. October says, cool cabinets, meow. Let's see, Terry, as long as it's not pink, I'll take anything right about now. Well, from what I'm reading on that Michael's cheat sheet, we'll call it, I don't think any of that stuff sounds like it's going to be like the hippie Halloween collection. I'm not feeling any pink vibes off of that. So I think we may be okay with that this year. I think that's kind of passed by. I don't think it's coming back this year. Not saying that some stores probably won't have it. Kirkland's may still be on board with it somewhat. TJ Maxx may still have some of that stuff. But I think for the most part, that trend has passed us by. And I'm okay with that 1000%. Barb says they did not even set up Spooky Town at my Michael's last year. How are they not going to set up Spooky Town? Like, that is what brings the crowd into Michael's. People go into Michael's to look at Spooky Town. Whether they buy Spooky Town or not, that's what brings them in, because it's much like Spirit Halloween. Spirit Halloween, their big display of animatronics, is what brings people in. Now, probably 70% of Spirit's customers don't buy animatronics. They go in there and they buy costumes and other stuff. But what gets the butts in the seats is the animatronic display. Much like Michael's, the Spooky Town display is what drags people in. So I don't understand why they wouldn't set that up. I mean, that's how they're going to make their money, by bringing people in. Let's see. Yeah, exactly, Sherry. No pastels or disco. Let's see. Thank you for all the Summerween updates, says Gemini Groomer. Definitely, no problem. I mean, I enjoy this stuff. I'm always out and about, so it's really nothing for me to swing into a store and see if anything is new. That's why I'm able to bring all of the updates. So, unfortunately, we're not getting many updates. I know a lot of people said that they're finding ghost pool floats at Five Below. Haven't seen that at mine. Haven't seen the Summerween throws, beach towels, any of that stuff at my Walmart. There's like little Summerween sprinkled around here and there, but in my area, it's like finding gold. You're not going to find it because it's nowhere to be found. My Kirkland's doesn't have the Summerween in stock, so it's out there. If you're in the right area, you're going to find it. I'm just not. The only thing I've really seen is an alien beach towel at Five Below. But other than that, I keep coming up empty-handed. But it's okay. It's okay, because the summer months are coming. And we know the summer months never let us down, because Halloween is going to be just about everywhere. So until then, I'll just keep doing fun Halloween videos, like Halloween stores that don't exist anymore. I'll keep carving watermelons. I'll keep carving pineapples. And we'll keep having fun until spooky season gets here. Let's see. Yeah, Kelly says, no more disco balls. Spooky Horror Goddess says, I'm tired of the lame Halloween decor. I'm sorry to be the wet blanket. I'll stick to vintage. You're not a wet blanket at all, Spooky Horror Goddess, because, I mean, you see what's behind me. Cutouts, 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 cutouts. Freddy Krueger. I mean, the most modern thing behind me is the Target vacuum form, but it looked retro, so I had to have it. And I love the way that the light kind of bounces off of it, so that was a no-brainer for me. But I enjoy window shopping, looking at some of the modern stuff, but I won't really spend my money on it. That's why a lot of times I've had people ask me, they're like, hey, why do you only do a handful of haul videos? And the haul videos you do, why is it stuff that you've purchased online? Because, again, for someone like me, like Spooky Horror Goddess, us finding something in store that fits what we collect is almost impossible. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate what they're putting out, as long as it's not pastels and pink. It's just, it's not what I really want to collect, unless it is something like Target does. So that's why I don't really do hauls unless it's something that I find that's unique and really fits my collection. Instead, I just enjoy window shopping and looking at it. But here's where it gets weird, okay? 20 years from now, the Halloween merchandise that's in store now is going to be considered vintage. So, 20 years from now, I'll be what? I'm almost 47 now, so Oh, wow. Hmm. Reality just hit me. In 20 years, I'll be close to 70 years old. So if I'm still collecting Halloween and I'm still around at almost 70, I'm pretty sure I won't be doing YouTube at almost 70. I'll be well retired by then, and someone else will be up here doing this, and we'll all be sitting back watching them. I wonder if I'll be going on Whatnot or eBay and reminiscing about Halloween decor from 2026 and saying, oh man, that was a better time. Does anybody think that's going to happen? Does anybody think that 20 years from now, we're going to look back at this merchandise now with fond memories? I'm curious. How do you all feel about that? Are we going to, because it's weird, okay? It's very weird. I used to look at the early 2000s Halloween merchandise with distaste. But now I look at some of that stuff and I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool. So it's really funny how as time goes by, you start looking at stuff differently. So that's tonight's burning question. Are we going to look at this merchandise 20 years from now when we're all old and can't even really think about Halloween? We're either going to be in our 70s or our 80s, depending on what age we're at now. Are we going to look back at this fondly? That's a good question for tonight, right? Good question. All right, I'm behind in the chat, I know. Let's see, I worked in the warehouse for different Target stores while getting through college. And let me tell you, retail stores start getting Halloween merchandise in June and July. I know all about that because when I worked in grocery, we would get in the monster cereals and all of that stuff in like June or July, and they would tell us to put it out the beginning of August. So I know all about that. It would sit back there in the back stock room and the shipper boxes until they told us, okay, now it's time to put this out. Because first they would have to put out all the back to school stuff, and after that they were like, okay, now we can start pushing this Halloween stuff. So yeah, I definitely get it. Let's see. Doulahan says Halloween is every day. That's not just a slogan here. No, it's not. Halloween is a lifestyle over here with the Spooky family. And Sherry agrees vintage is the best, Goddess. Kelly says thrift and vintage is the best. Barb says wait until Cracker Barrel drops their stuff. Now that is true, Barb. Cracker Barrel is about the only one that really gets it. They have the blow molds and all of that stuff. They kind of know what Halloween collectors like if you're in the line that we collect of like retro and all of that stuff. So kudos to Cracker Barrel because they definitely have their finger on the pulse of it. Let's see. Sam says, waiting for purple and mini lights. Need to buy 2 more cases for my bushes, but need the black wire, not the green wire. I saw some of those today at a thrift store, as a matter of fact, Sam. Funny you mentioned that. Katang says, mine didn't set up Spooky Town either. Wow. What is with these Michael stores not setting up Spooky Town? That is wild. See, Doulahan says, I'm not expecting any Halloween here until 5th of July. I think that's normally when Lowe's here does it. Like, right after the 4th of July, Lowe's here starts slowly creeping Halloween onto the floor sets. You'll see like 2 animatronics slowly creep onto the floor like around July 5th or July 6th. And then they'll stay there for about 2 or 3 weeks solo. And then about 3 weeks later, you'll start seeing all the Halloween just start coming in late July. Sherry, thank you so much. Much appreciated. You know, you don't have to. You're awesome, Sherry. Thank you. Laura says, hi, Derek. Sorry I'm late. Better late than never, Laura. Welcome in. Let's see. Star says, we were told that Spooky Town was not on display at our local Michael's due to theft. I've heard people say that before, but like, seriously, okay? How are you going to walk out? The small pieces I get, okay? But, all right, let's take, for example, here, the roller rink, okay? The DJ Decay's roller rink looks like a huge piece. There's no way you're going to walk out with that without being seen. Like, I mean, come on now. Like, okay, I walk in and I look like this, right? Then I'm looking around and, I want this roller rink bad, but I don't have $209. All right, I'm on. Oh, I got this roller rink here. All right, Don't mind me, guys. Got this roller rink. Hey, guys. Have a good day. Have a good day. I'm out. I'm out. I mean, come on now. How are you going to walk out with a big Spooky Town piece? It's just not feasible, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's not impossible, but I mean, if you walk in wearing a big trench coat, that's kind of a dead giveaway, especially in the middle of July. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, the little spooky people and all of that stuff and smaller pieces, but you just saw yourself how the roller rink would look. There's no way. There's no way. All right, I'm missing a lot of the chat. I apologize, guys. Katang says, I'm on the lookout for the Summerween blankets at Walmart. I want the cat one. Checked yesterday. Still nothing out here, Katang. Crystal says, next week it'll be like 100 days until September. And they'll go by before you know it, because this year is definitely flying by. So let's hope that the summer doesn't drag, the dog days of summer, as they call it. Let's hope it just goes right on out. Barb says, I will just enjoy Uncle Yam until Halloween. Man, when I filmed Uncle Yam there at Walmart, I didn't know so many of you would like Uncle Yam. I thought I was the only one that saw Mr. Potato Head playing the part of Uncle Sam. And I'm still on the fence. I'm still on the fence. Watch, I'm going to think about this so much that the next time I go to Walmart, Uncle Yam is going to be sold out. I just need to go ahead and do it. He's what, $13 plus tax. I just need to go ahead and do it and buy Uncle Yam and get it out of my system, because I keep thinking about it. You guys keep bringing up Uncle Yam. Maybe I just need to do an unboxing of Uncle Yam in a pickup video. Maybe work him in with all the spooky stuff, right? I don't know. Sound off in the comments. Should I, or the chat rather, should I get Uncle Yam? Let's see. Gemini Groomer says we need more werewolf decor. Yeah, there's really not a lot of werewolf decor out there. You know, there's not a lot of traditional type stuff. There's not a lot of mummy stuff. There's a lot of Frankenstein stuff. Dracula, vampires aren't really as prominent in stores as they used to be. We could do with more vampire merchandise, I would say. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Werewolves, definitely. They get over they get overlooked. Katang says carve a turnip. We were talking about that tonight. You know, my wife, partner, whatever you want to call her, of 20 years, she was like, okay, let me get this right. You carved a watermelon, now you're carving a pineapple. She's like, what next? A turnip? I was like, no, I think after the pineapple, I'm going to be done. Because I don't even know how this pineapple is going to go. It's going to be a mess. Oh, wow. October, thanks for the gift there. Super cool. Awesome. Mary Beth says, Uncle Yam has a girlfriend. Mrs. Potato Head is in this also? What is her name? I didn't even know she had a thing going on. I haven't even seen this one yet. Now I'm interested. Oh, boy. Let's see. The original Mr. Potato Head was things to put on a real potato, said Sherry. Yeah, exactly, Will. I didn't even know there was a Uncle Yam girlfriend. I'm going to have to look. Is this actually true, Mary Beth? I'm going to have to look this up. I can't look it up right now because I'm on live. But if this is legit, I gotta see this. I mean, I can see it because there's a Mrs. Potato Head. Wow. Sam says, price point has been a major factor for me the last 4 years. I mean, oh yeah, Sam, everything's just getting more and more expensive. Case in point, well, I was just talking about the DJ Decay roller skating rink, $209. Come on now, that's a lot of dough. It's a lot of dough. Best with Becca says, Freddy's looking at me weird. You should see what his eyes look like behind that, Becca. At least he's got the 3D glasses on. You should see how intensely he stares when they're not on. Yeah. He's so cool he wears his sunglasses at night. Oh, wow. Will, that's right. You will be 50 this year. I'm right behind you, buddy. I'm 47 next year, so I'm getting close. I'm like, what, 7 months away from 47, so I'm knocking right there with you. You'll be retired. Yeah. In 20 years, I don't see myself doing YouTube. Ain't no way I'm going to be close to 70 years old doing YouTube. I won't even see how to edit a video. Let's see. Spooky Horror Goddess says, that hurts my soul. I'll be 80 and still shopping eBay for 70s, 80s, and 90s. If I'm still around. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If we're still around. Knock on wood. And I knock on my head as the old joke goes. Let's see. Gemini Groomer. Good one, Mary Beth. You were youngster Draven. Rudge, didn't even see you in. Welcome into the chat, Rudge. Sorry about that. I overlooked you. Katang, the early 2000s merchandise is vintage now. Exactly. It's like, it's hard to believe that that stuff is vintage. It seems like it was just yesterday. It seems like just yesterday I saw Spirit Halloween stores for the first time, and now they're just a staple every every year. It's like, wow. Wow, where does time go? Laura says, I think not many things today will be around because things are not made as well as the old stuff. That's a good possibility. And for that same fact, will stuff from the 70s, will stuff from the 80s still be worth collecting 20 years from now? Or is that stuff going to take more of a hit? Is it going to start breaking down, degrading over the next 2 decades? I mean, most of that stuff is held up relatively great. I mean, the blow molds from the 60s, some of those still look brand new if you're able to afford the high end ones that have the great paint on them still. So I agree with that. Stuff just doesn't have the craftsmanship that it used to. Let's see. Dualahan says better than the 70s and 80s. Barb says, unfortunately, I think the older is always better. 100%. The more vintage, the better all the way. But I do think that 20 years from now, a lot of us are going to look back on some of this stuff and think, okay, I want to go back and revisit that. Because in your mind, that's where your mind always plays tricks on you. You always think, okay, right now I'm not into this. But as you get older, I guess it's coming to grips with, okay, I'm not getting any younger, so I want to revisit something from my more youthful time. And when you're close to 70, looking back at stuff in your 40s, you're going to be like, okay, let me go back and look at some of that. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at, if that makes any sense, you know? Because I guess right now we're revisiting stuff from our teen years, our kid years, and our 20s. So eventually we're going to have to revisit stuff from our 30s and 40s to come full circle, I guess, right? I would imagine. Katang says, who knows what future Halloween stuff will be? Here's my thing, okay? Here's my thing. I mentioned this in a comment to someone tonight, okay? Here's my thing. Let me see if I'm missing anything here. Casket Crew says, I don't remember the word for it, but my memory gets extremely bad. Then I'm 37. I don't believe I will. Kelly says, Cracker Barrel is great if you can ever get the stuff before it sells out. Let's see. Crystal says, 20 years from now, my hair will be as gray as a tombstone. I'm hopefully not under. Yeah, I hope you're not either, Crystal. I hope you're not either. Oh man, Barb said I had someone steal my in-store pickup at Michael's. Okay, yeah. See, I will touch base on that a minute. Because some of these stores for in-store pickup, they just dump the stuff into a little basket there, and you can easily just pick it up. So yeah, I get that. Same thing at Starbucks. If you go inside Starbucks for a mobile pickup, all these random drinks are just sitting here on the counter. You don't have to scan a barcode. You don't have to scan anything. What's going to stop someone just from going into a Starbucks and picking up a random drink? They're not going to ask, hey, is this yours? Because it's just sitting there for you to pick up. And I've seen that at some retail stores too, where the stuff is just sitting in bags with people's names on it. And people just go pick the stuff up. They don't even scan a QR code. Yeah, I mean, so on that end, yeah, I do see how someone could walk out with something from Michaels. It's really really weird. It's really weird. Go figure. Let's see. What am I missing here? Let me scroll down here and see. Catch up with the chat a little bit here. Barb says they filled the order for me. They said it was not the only one that got their pickup order stolen. Well, I hope they at least replaced it and got better with how they do business on that end. Mary Beth says, what's going on? Doggy dog, yippee yippee yay. Amy and Tony, welcome in. unboxing, and then he's a text right off. Yeah, exactly right. Save all your receipts for anything, especially when you do social media, because you'll get your little 1099 at the end of the year. So always save your receipts. Red Dragon, welcome into the chat. Derek Blackheart Spooky Club, Red Dragon. I thought we already talked about this in the comments. It's the new channel, and you're in the Spooky Club right now because this is the Spooky family here, all in the chat. The old channel went bye-bye, buddy. That's been gone for about, I don't know, guys, what now? 3 or 4 months now it's been gone now. We've been having fun over here for months now. Sherry says, I found a Halloween Mr. Potato Head on Poshmark. Sherry, that's funny because I was digging around in my barn today, and I have a Mr. Potato Head Halloween kit from like 20 years ago. Here we go, full circle again, back to 20 years. And it says that you can dress your Mr. Potato Head up as a witch. I didn't even know I owned it, but there it was. It was in my barn, and I was like, I don't even remember buying this. So sometimes when you have so much stuff, you can go shopping at your own house and you'll forget, oh, I actually have this, and it's like new again, and you get to scratch that Halloween itch because you feel like you found something new. All right, let's see what's going on here. South of Sanity. I carve a turnip every year. Well, there you go. I guess I'm gonna have to do a trilogy. Sanity. I'm gonna have to do the turnip as the final one after I do the pineapple. I'm gonna have to do all three, and just go for the hat trick, I guess. So I was gonna say, I think eventually someone asked what's Halloween merchandise gonna look like in the future. That I don't know, but here's what I think. Okay, let's see. Prey says, people want the spooky season nowadays because people just want to escape from reality. I'm going to take that comment because that's going to lead me right into what I'm going to say about escaping from reality. I think here we go. I know everybody has their opinions on AI. Most people don't like it at all. I'm not a fan of it myself. I only use it for fun shorts, and I don't really do them as much as I used to. Not saying I'm going to stop, but I just use it for comedy. I don't think AI should take anyone's job, livelihood, any of that, because people need jobs to survive. But it's inevitable. It's coming. It's not going anywhere. So in the future, here's what I believe. VR is already a thing. I think eventually VR is going to have the Intel technology, whatever you want to call it, to read your thoughts, and it'll put you in virtual reality of whatever you're thinking. You'll be able to go back to 1978. You'll be able to go back to 1988 and relive some of those Halloween memories in VR. Could sound far-fetched, but a lot of stuff that happens in the modern world, 20 years ago, you would have been like, you're a Mad Hatter. There's no way anything like that's going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen eventually. I think VR is going to be able to put you back in a certain time, and that's going to be our time machine, our DeLorean, if you will. I mean, it probably sounds crazy. I'm sure it does to a lot of you. But I think that as technology evolves and AI moves forward, I definitely think that's going to be a thing. What do you guys think? Let's see here. I know I'm missing something. Michael says, did you know the OG jack-o'-lantern was a turnip? Yes, I did, Michael. And that's another video I've got to touch base on, like the history of Halloween and the history of jack-o'-lanterns. Trust me, there's so many video ideas I have. And like I mentioned last night in the premiere, my goal here, the channel is coming up on its 3-month anniversary in about 2 weeks. And I've posted either a video, a short, or a live stream every night for 3 months. So, my first year here on the new channel, my goal is to post something every night and not let it be filler content either. If it's not a good video and not a good short, not a fun live stream, I'm not going to post it. It's got to have fun, quality, depth, substance, whatever you want to call it, because I want to have stuff up here that I would want to watch if I was tuning into the channel, if that makes any sense. So, buckle up, because I'm going to try to come nightly some way or another for a year. That's my goal the first year, to post every night. And of course, do the live streams every Friday night. Do the premieres, because we have so much fun in the premieres. We're going to keep doing all that almost nightly. So, let's catch back up to the chat. Casket said, you carved a turnip south. That's impressive. Barb says, I'm not saying how old I am. You're never supposed to ask a woman their age anyway, Barb. You'll get fussed out for that. Let's see. Laura says, hello from Chicago. Love all the videos. Welcome into the chat. Michael, I will be 38. Red Dragon says, thanks, October Breeze. Den of Monsters, welcome into the chat, Den of Monsters. Barb says, my mind, I'm still 20. That's the old saying, Barb. You're only as old as you feel. You know, if you feel 20, then act 20. Just don't make mistakes like you would at 20, because if I knew now what I knew when I was 20, I wouldn't make some of the mistakes I made back then. I would make some smarter decisions. Let's see. Kelly says, thanks. Now I have to wear my sunglasses at night, running through my head. Oh, I missed something there. That is a great song, though. Let's see. Oh, yeah, definitely. Red Dragon. Summerween. You can't find this at Blockbuster. You can't even find a Blockbuster. What am I talking about? Let's see. Let me see. Doulahan says, do you have a permanent Halloween store in your area that you go to? Not really. I mean, I've got Party Makers, which sells Halloween stuff year-round. We've got the seasonal pop-up store, Halloween Express, that last year they had the big pumpkin tent outside the mall. I go to them every year. Spirit Halloween I go to. But, I mean, I bounce back and forth between all of them. Really, I mean, there's no really set store that I would say I'm loyal to, I guess, if that's the question. I just like bouncing around and checking them all out. Unfortunately, Party Makers is the only one that we have open year-round, because naturally a Halloween store in the South isn't going to really do too good year-round. I know they have a lot of them that are open year-round out west, and from what I understand, some of them struggle from time to time, because I think the Halloween community is a big community. However, we're all spread out throughout the country. So if you're in Raleigh, North Carolina, you know, you're going to have to hope that at least, 50 people each month want to buy Halloween merchandise to just keep the lights on, pay the rent, pay overhead. So I can understand why Halloween stores don't succeed year-round. Let's see. Breeze here says, if you're new to the live, definitely subscribe. Great spooky family here. Definitely right, October Breeze. And thank you for always moderating. And this spooky family here is great. Like I said, we have fun here every Friday night in the live streams. Sometimes we give stuff away for no reason at all. Sometimes we have a reason to give stuff away. Sometimes we just come up here and we talk about stuff. And we do the same thing in premieres. Bunny Princess, speaking of giveaways, Bunny Princess was a winner about 3 weeks ago. She won a set of Halloween cutouts. So, cool stuff here. So if you're new here, definitely consider checking out the videos and subscribing. Laura says, I will be 76 in 20 years. Yikes. If I'm still around. I'm planning on still collecting, loving Halloween, and watching Scooby-Doo. I know. And think about that. 20 years is going to go just like that. Seems like only yesterday I was 26 and logging on to YouTube for the first time trying to do music. And I had my MySpace page, my MySpace top 8, and it seems like that was just yesterday. Like if I close my eyes, it seems like it was literally just yesterday, but it's been 2 whole decades. And don't get me wrong, a lot has happened in those 2 decades. Oh boy, a lot's happened in those 2 decades. 20 years ago, I had hair. 20 years ago, I hadn't raised kids yet. 20 years ago, I still had my mom and dad around. 20 years ago, electric cars weren't a thing. 20 years ago, iPhones weren't a thing. 20 years ago, flat screen TVs were still CRT TVs. Like, wow, yeah, a lot is. 20 years ago, the Wii hadn't even existed yet. That didn't come out until what, 2007? People were still playing the PlayStation 2, and now it's what, the PlayStation 5? Wow, yeah, 20 years has flown by like crazy. See, Barb says, I think most places are catching on the vintage sales. It's definitely the best. I mean, they really should realize that that's what so many of us like. See, Casket says, I've been fascinated with Germany's Halloween era, but it's crazy expensive, so it's tough to get your hands on. Sadly, I can imagine that's probably pretty expensive. I haven't really gone down that rabbit hole, though, but it sounds pretty fascinating. Crystal says, oh yeah, been meaning to say that skeleton in your Home Depot short is about the cutest thing. Oh man. Well, those skeletons are making their rounds. There's the one that he's pumping the jack-o'-lanterns like he's pumping iron. Then there's the Home Sweet Home one where he's driving and they're making the little signs and everything. Oh man, Home Depot, At Home is going hard with their teasers. So I hope they're going to live up to it in store. Star says every generation romanticizes the past, at least once they reach a certain age. I 100% agree with that. People always look back at other times in their life with this nostalgia, and even if it was a bad time in their life because, someone was still around or they were younger, they can find a way to make it feel better, and I'm guilty as charged with that also. Nostalgia definitely is a trip that takes you for a ride. It really does. Let's see. Kelly says, yeah, in-store pickup is risky. Will says, we are family. I got all the spookies with me. That's good, Will. That's good. Barb says, I got spooky family with me. That's right. We're all one big spooky family here on Friday nights. Sherry says, is there a way to refurbish vintage blow molds? I mean, I've seen people repaint them, Sherry. I guess that's the best way to do it. Obviously, just repaint them and take the old cord out and put a new cord in, which is relatively easy because they sell those pretty cheap at places like Walmart. So that's probably the easiest way to refurbish one. Maybe that's a video idea, Sherry. Maybe that's a good one. Because I do a little crafts myself. I do a little dabbling in it. Maybe I'll take one of my old beat up blow molds, repaint it, put a new cord in it, and do an entire before and after. See, you gave me a new video idea right there, so that's a possibility. Yeah, exactly, Breeze. Draven's now got us all singing it. As I'm sitting here talking, I'm singing "We Are Family" in my head. He's got us all going down it now. Michael says, "Who remembers Devil's Night? That even still a thing?" Oh, I remember that. They what was the other name for it instead of Devil's Night? Mischief Night? Was it Mischief Night they would call it also? Sherry says, thanks. That's funny, Derek. You can add it to your collection. Kelly says, I had the potato head. You could put costumes on too. Yeah, the one I got, Kelly, is dress it up like a witch. Let's see. October says, Dragon, it's all good. Katang says, can't get more vintage Halloween stuff than carving a turnip. That's official. I'm going to carve a turnip then. You all have talked me into it. I'm going to carve a turnip. That's it. Barb says, I use a black eyeliner to fill in blow mold before. That's okay. So see, Barb's already gave me a tip. Sam says, I got a full basement and 3 large sheds full. You sound about like me. See, I would love to do a video showing you guys my barn. I'm not ready for the backlash on that, though. It's not organized. You guys are going to be like, Derek, you need an intervention. You're a hoarder. We need to call the TV show to come out to your barn because you've got a problem. So I got to get that a little bit more organized before I show all of you that on camera. Let's see. What am I missing here? Terry says, I agree. Makeup, Draven. Oh no, we're going to live in the Matrix. Live in the Matrix. Yeah, exactly. With the VR. Let's see. Red Dragon says, chat, let's get Derek's channel up to 5K. I think it's going to reach it in the coming weeks. Red Dragon. I think it is. Met Red Dragon, as a matter of fact, back when I was doing the old channel, since tonight's live stream is kind of centering around Michael's Halloween news, I met Red Dragon at Michael's about, I guess what, Dragon, 3 years ago maybe? It was in the early days of the Black Arts Club, and I was sitting over there, my camera, on my phone, filming the Spooky Town collection, talking to myself like a weirdo. And this is the Carousel of Fear. It looks like it is $99.99. And I hear this guy behind me say, Black Arts Club! It's the first time I ever got anyone that knew me from YouTube in public. And I was like, huh, that's different. And then me and him started talking, and I've known him ever since. Cool dude. So, yeah, I've met a few of you all out in public before at conventions and stuff. Sherry's, not Sherry, excuse me, Sherry. I communicate back and forth here in the chat with Sherry and comment so much. Tammy and her son I met at the North Carolina Horror Con up in Raleigh last June or July, I believe. I ran into her. And then there was a few out in Southern California that I ran into also. So it's always fun when I meet some of you out in the wild, as they call it. It's always such a fun time. We sit there and we talk about stuff. It's always a blast. It is always a blast. Let's see, what am I missing here? Kelly says there was a show called Upload that was similar to that VR concept. That's what I'm saying, Kelly. I definitely think it's possible for sure. Michael says, oh, congratulations, Derek. Sam says, myself, Sherry. Mary Beth says, me too, Sherry. All right, I'm missing the chat. You guys are all talking amongst yourselves, which I love, because I love that I can sit here and ramble on and you guys can just carry the conversation without me even in it. Laura says, as I get older, I need peace and no stress. I plan to pull away from AI and technology and focus on nature and what's real. Trust me, sometimes I get it. You know, sometimes when I get done with work, you know, sometimes I don't look at the phone. Sometimes I look at the phone because the phone is a stress reliever. It can go either way. I guess it kind of depends on the day you're having. If you want to escape into, you know, the internet, then it works for you. But yeah, I definitely think, though, it's not slowing down and it's going to keep evolving for sure. What is your favorite Halloween vintage decor to see in the wild? Says Lorlac. I think I got that right. Lorlac82. Blow molds for sure. 1000% blow molds. I mean, it can be the ones that I already own that I'll come across, but anytime I see them, it's like seeing them for the first time again. I guess it's that old cliche when you see something and you fall in love with it all over again. That's how I feel about the Halloween blow molds from the 60s and the 70s. When I see them, I just fall in love with them all over again. I won't buy them because I already own so many of them. Some of them I own twice, but when I see them, no pun intended here, or maybe, my face grins like a jack-o'-lantern because I never get tired of seeing them. I love them. Doulahan says, Derek's the hardest working man for Halloween. I don't know if I would say that, Doulahan. I enjoy Halloween. I enjoy the communication with all of us. And there's something about doing videos that, going back to, sometimes the internet's a stress reliever, sometimes it's not. Editing videos for me is a stress reliever because it gets your creative juices going to an extent, and it's an outlet where you can just lose yourself for about 25 to 30 minutes editing a video. And that's another question. People are like, how do you get these videos out so quick? At this point, I could probably edit in my sleep. As a matter of fact, one night I was doing a video. I think it was Tuesday this week. It was the Target inflatables drop. I was just laying in bed. That's why I didn't appear in the video, because it was just a voice over. And I was just uploading, editing, half asleep. Hence why I say I could literally almost do it in my sleep at this point. So, again, I said this last week. I started on YouTube when I was 26. Here we go, full circle again. 20 years ago. So it's relatively easy for me to figure it out. I was editing videos when it was on Windows XP and Windows Movie Maker. So, and if I had to do that right now, I still remember exactly how to edit a video on Windows Movie Maker. Seems like forever ago, but I could still do it. Wow. Man, where does time go? Let's see. Best 80s Friday night growing up: horror VHS from a video store and pizza delivery. Amazing times. Definitely. I remember getting pizza delivered from Domino's, and it's when they had the little Noid rubber action figures. If you ordered a pizza and a Coca-Cola, you would get a little Noid with it. So I remember playing with the little Noid while watching Child's Play, of all things. Let's see. Family Video is gone too. Terry says, right now, no year-round Halloween stores for me in Northwest Louisiana. Sherry says, there is nothing like the 80s for sure. It's definitely one of the greatest decades, in my opinion. Probably the best decade, but I know a lot of people will debate that. Katang, I'm assuming, left because I see Casket Crew said, take care, Katang. So if that's the case, Katang, I hope you have a great night and a great weekend. Michael says there's more Christmas stuff than there is Halloween stuff. It's always been that way. People are just more into Christmas than they are Halloween, and sadly, it's always going to be that way. I think. I don't know why. Will says glam of 80s and grunge of 90s, but now that stuff is all mixed into the same radio station and it's all under the same umbrella, and they just call it classic rock now. Halloween Queen, welcome into the chat. Welcome in. Let's see. Makeup Barb says, Derek, I may have to email you a pic with my 80s hair. Is this like real 80s hair, Barb, or was it like a Halloween wig? My 80s hair was in the 90s, but it was just long bleached blonde hair, and that's why now I have no hair, because I bleached it too much. Trying to be Bret Michaels. Red Dragon says, let's go. What time on Fridays? I'm off every Friday night. We meet up here every Friday night at 8 p.m., Dragon. So if you're on the YouTube streets, hop over here to Halloween Boulevard and come hang out with the Spooky family. We hang out in the alley behind Spirit Halloween, right on the corner of Halloween Boulevard and Spooky Avenue every Friday night. All right, let's see. What am I missing here? I've missed a lot. Sherry says, my senior prom pictures are ridiculous. Mary Beth says, 20 years ago. Will says, best of not strangest chats on YouTube. Let's not get started on one of those premiere chats the other night when Dancing Frogs was with us, Draven, because that chat it was out there. That one was definitely out there. Let's see. Ethan says, do you know anything about Summerween for Target online? Ethan, I haven't heard anything about Summerween. I have a friend that works at Target. He told me that they were going to get a Summerween drop. I haven't seen a Summerween drop. I haven't seen anything online. So as for right now, I'm going to say it looks like it's a big, big no for Summerween at Target. I just don't think it's happening. Like I've mentioned in a lot of the comments and videos, I think that America's 250th birthday celebration is kind of why Summerween's taking a back seat this year. I don't think they have enough retail shelving space to let Summerween and America's 250th coexist. So naturally, I think they think the bigger moneymaker is the 250th merchandise. Hence why we were all talking about Uncle Yam, Mr. Potato Head earlier. He seems to be the winner for the 250th collection. So kudos to you, Uncle Yam. You have won the year for the 250th collection. They should have just made him into a blow mold, and that would have been absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Kate Chris, welcome into the chat also. See, Mary Beth says 20 years ago, Uncle Yam was a wee tater tot. Yes, he was. Wonder what we're going to think about Uncle Yam 20 years from now. That's a good question, right? Michael says, in the Dreamcast and Sega Genesis, remember both of those. I remember when PlayStation wasn't even around yet, and everybody wanted a Sega Genesis or a Super Nintendo, or if you came from a family with money, you could get a TurboGrafx 16 or a Neo Geo. Anybody remember TurboGrafx 16 or Neo Geo? Now that's taking it back, right? I always wanted a Neo Geo because no, it wasn't Neo Geo. It was TurboGrafx 16 that I wanted because they had the horror movie game, like one of the first legit horror movie games called Splatterhouse. Had this guy walking around wearing like a Jason mask, and it was creepy. It was creepy. By the way, that's going to be a video coming soon. The history of horror and Halloween in video games. So I've done toys. I've done all kinds of stuff like that. So stay tuned because there's going to be a video game installment coming soon also. Red Dragon says, Derek, have you been to Far Frightmore Academy Haunted Attraction? I have. Dragon right there in Williamston, and of course I've been to Deadwood also when they do the haunted train. Been to both of those, and they both are pretty good attractions for the most part. K Chris says, I'm ready to start seeing some Halloween in stores now. Well, just hold that thought, K Chris, because with the little bit of news coming from Michaels, I think we're definitely getting close. I think we are there. I think we just got to get through Memorial Day. Once we make our way through Memorial Day, I think we're good. I think we're good then. Makeup says we have to hang on until after the 4th. I don't even think for some stores we're gonna have to make it that far, Barb. I don't, because we already know At Home and Michaels are gearing up. So I think it's gonna be June. I think it's gonna be June. I'm gonna stick with that. I thought it was gonna be May, but instead, May we're getting like the online teasers. I think to lead up to June. So I think if we just what was it Wilson Phillips used to say? Hold on for one more day. I think if we can do that, I think by June we'll be okay. Let's see. Sherry says that's too far, Makeup. Mary Beth says, makes me think of Eddie Money's song, I Want to Go Back. I just mentioned that, Mary Beth, to someone in a comment. I was mentioning that to somebody. I said, all of this it was the Kmart video. If we had a time machine, it's like Eddie Money once said, I want to go back. I'll tell you, we all have been spending too much time in the comments section hanging out because we're all starting to think alike. Let's see, Michael says, Derek, do you know if Five Below will still have $25 animatronics because your old video was with that clown? I think so, Michael, because they had them last year. Last year they had a witch. And I think they had another clown last year. So I think those $25 animatronics are going to make a comeback because people that want animatronics but can't afford $300-400 animatronics, Five Below is definitely at the front of the line when it comes to that. I can't really think of another store that sells affordable animatronics. So here's my thing. I think Walmart, being the nation's largest retail chain, should realize what Five Below was doing. And I think that each year they should start putting an emphasis on making affordable animatronics for less than $50. I could easily see up on the top shelf an entire line of animatronics at Walmart. So, all right, there we go. What will Halloween look like in 20 years? There we go. I think that's a topic right there. I think in 20 years, I think we'll see places like Target, places like Walmart selling more affordable animatronics because I think animatronics are not going to slow down. I don't think they're going anywhere, but I think that they're going to have to become more affordable and collectible to the average consumer that can't see investing $300 or $400 into a piece. So there you go. That's my prediction for the next 20 years of Halloween. The explosion of affordable animatronics at retail stores. What do you guys think? All right, let me catch up here some. Kelly says, it would be great crafting with Derek. I'd watch for sure. I probably will do it, Kelly. Honestly, I probably will. Let's see. Amy and Tony, I found out about Devil's Night from the movie The Crow way back when. Sherry says, my Mr. Potato Head comes with a ghost sheet. Michael says, hey, I have a mask of OG Jack-o'-lantern I made. Doulahan says they had Beggar's Night, where you went out with the day before Halloween. Barb says, my basement is packed nearly to the ceiling with Halloween. Sounds just like my barn. Sounds just like it. Sam says, same here. Scared of the hoarder label. See, I am way behind in the chat. Oh, man, I apologize, guys. I've got to get better with this. I've got to get better. Halloween Queen says, we carve turnips every year for our local Irish pub. It's not as easy as you think. Hollow it out with a small, sharp melon helps. Okay, I'll remember that, Halloween Queen. Thank you so much for that tip, because I think I'm going to have to do it. Let's see, power tools, says Sam. I've got power tools. I can do it. I can do it. Let's see, Doulahan says, I'd love to see a horror con. If you did it on the old channel, I'd like to see you redo it on this one. There's two coming up. There's two coming up. I've got media passes for one in August and media passes for one in October. So there's two horror cons coming later on this season. So stay tuned to the channel for that. I've already got those lined up. Michael says, I try not to sometimes, try not to, well, so much I do. Yeah, exactly. All right, what am I missing? A lot. Take your time, Derek. Do not rush yourself. I just want to catch if anybody's got questions here. I try not to avoid questions, and sometimes it happens, and it sucks, but it happens, and I apologize. All right, what am I missing? I am way down here. Man, you guys got a whole conversation going here. Wow. Bree said, Sam, it's like a box of chocolates. You'll never know what you get in this chat. You got that right. You got that right. You never know what you're going to get here. Let's see. A new HDMI Neo Geo console is coming out that lets you play your original cartridges. Oh, so that's kind of like how they did with the Sega, where you could play your old Sega cartridges on that. Let's see. Had an awesome haunted house game. 3D. Oh, had an awesome haunted house game. Anyone remember that system with 3DO? I don't think I remember that system. I'm trying to remember, but I don't think. And I used to read all the magazines like Game Pro and all of that stuff when I was younger. Let's see. Mark Hogan, welcome into the chat. What about Halloween-themed fireworks? I mean, I could easily see that. Orange fireworks going off in the sky for Summerween. I definitely think that would be a thing. Yeah, Eddie Money was great. Terry says, Michael, I grew up in Chicago and we had Showbiz Pizza. Showbiz Pizza, Chuck E. Cheese, all of that stuff. My childhood also. I don't understand why they took all the animatronics out of Chuck E. Cheese. Honestly, to me, that's what made Chuck E. Cheese, so I don't get the whole concept behind that. Makes no sense. Let's see, Kelly says, Five Below really has some great Halloween. Sam, I brought orange, purple, and green fireworks. Wow, that's cool. Let's see, Will says, we keep talking about pics of all of our Halloween. What if we could talk Derek into doing a special video where we send him pics and he does a video to show them? There's another idea. You guys just keep coming up with them. And I probably would make it. I probably would, honestly. Let's see. You didn't put me on the spot. Look, here's the thing. It's like this. Doing a live scream is nothing compared to what I used to do when I was a musician. Imagine being in a nightclub with a bunch of people that are lit on Jack Daniels and all of that stuff. A live scream is a walk in the park compared to somebody sitting in the front row all taped up saying, "Play Freebird! Play Freebird!" No, not playing Freebird. It ain't request night. But a live scream put on the spot, it's in my DNA to do stuff like that. Let's see. Oh man, the chat just keeps going, keeps going. Makeup Junkie says, never been to a horror convention, but would love to go to one. Sherry says, me too. Dillahan says, we're lucky that Derek brings us all along to the horror con with him. And I will definitely do a live scream from there, as I did last year, where I did the walk along. And then I'll do a more in-depth video, because when you're doing the lives at a convention, there's so much, you got like tunnel vision where you can't, comprehend what's going on around you, because your spidey senses are tingling so much, and you're trying to absorb it all and take it all in. So there'll be a live screen and a video when I do both of those. So there we go, guys. Play the Halloween 3 jingle. Doot, 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 doot. Halloween Maniacs. If you guys have not checked out Halloween Maniacs channel, they do a lot of good stuff too. So go over there, subscribe to them. Great channel over there. Shout out to Halloween Maniacs. Awesome channel. All right, guys. We're about an hour and 15 minutes into this. So I guess this is where we part ways and venture off for our Friday night. Red Dragon says, you were in a band to play an instrument and had a singer? Yeah, I played guitar. I just about can play just about any instrument. Honestly, Dragon, drums, bass, guitar. Obviously, theme songs. I did the theme song for this channel. I did the theme song for the Black Hearts Club. So, yeah, music is always... Oh, man, I love that. I love the DJ and cat. That is awesome. That is awesome. I love it. The Turn It Up from Terry. Thank you so much for that, Terry. Much appreciated. I love it. Glad you enjoyed the live scream, Terry, October Breeze. Shout out to October. She does this every week. Moderates. It's not a paying gig, but she shows up every week to help out, to help keep the trolls underneath the bridge. So shout out to her. She doesn't have any content on her channel. She's not a content creator. But if she was, I would tell you all to go follow her, because she's cool to come over here and do this every week. So, on that note, I guess that's going to wrap up this one, because we're not doing a giveaway this week. I know. Boo! Burn him at the stake. He's not doing a giveaway. Boo! The giveaway will be back in about 2 or 3 weeks. So, just keep your Halloween pants on and we'll do it. Amy, Tony, much appreciated. You guys don't have to do that, but thank you so much. Another great channel there, Amy and Tony. Amy always does thrift hauls and food stuff where she makes food, and just, go over there, give her a sub, give her a like. She's cool. Highly recommend that. The spooky family, we all kind of stick together around here. So, on that end, if this was your first time here, we join here every Friday night at 8 p.m. And like I mentioned, sometimes there's giveaways. Sometimes it's us just hanging out and talking. So if you enjoyed this one, show back up next Friday night, because I guarantee you we'll all be here gathered around the TV like one big spooky happy family. And be sure to check out all of the videos. Like I mentioned, there's a lot coming out next week. There's a haul video coming out. There's me carving a pineapple next week. What else do I have coming out next week? There's a Halloween hunt at thrift stores. It's like 3 or 4 videos coming out next week, plus shorts, plus a live stream on Friday night. It's another full week. Again, there's going to be something airing every night around 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So, if you like this type of content, welcome to the spooky family. All right, guys, I hope you all have a good weekend. The next video premiere is Sunday night at 8 p.m. I don't know which one I'm airing yet. I guess I can ask you all. Okay, let's do a quick poll here. What do you guys want Sunday night? Do you want me thrift shopping for Halloween items and spooky items? Do you want me doing my haul video where I show you stuff that I got off of eBay and whatnot? Or Sunday, do you want me doing the pineapple carving? We'll do this real quick. What do you guys want Sunday night? First one to get 3 votes wins. Let's see which way this is going to go. I hope it's not going to be pineapple. I hope it's not going to be pineapple. All right, we got thrift shop. We got haul. Oh boy, we got pineapple. All right, I think we need one more for thrifting to win. Oh boy. Thrift won. Oh man, if Will had came in 1 second earlier, I'd be carving a pineapple Sunday. Thrift it is. All right, so Sunday night, 8 p.m., the premiere is going to be the thrift hunt for Halloween. So there we go. I'll see you all Sunday night at 8 p.m. Love all of you guys, spooky family. And until next time, I'll see you on the dark side. Have a good weekend, everybody. Crystal said turnip.